We live in an age of unparalleled abundance, where goods and services are more accessible than ever before. Yet, despite this seeming prosperity, a persistent struggle for financial stability plagues countless individuals. This is the modern financial paradox. At the heart of this enigma lies a pervasive phenomenon. Many individuals consistently find themselves spending more than they earn. This isn't merely a personal failing. It is a complex issue deeply woven into the very fabric of contemporary society. Its roots extend far deeper than simple mismanagement or a lack of individual discipline. Understanding this paradox requires a critical examination of the forces that shape our financial realities. One of the most significant drivers of overspending is the omnipresent availability of credit. Unprecedented ease of access to credit cards and various loan instruments has fundamentally altered consumer behavior. This accessibility offers immediate gratification for purchases, satisfying desires in an instant. It effectively allows individuals to spend beyond their current financial means. While seemingly convenient, this mechanism often initiates a pernicious cycle of debt. Future earnings are then prematurely allocated, consumed by past spending decisions. This constant deferral of payment creates an illusion of unlimited resources. However, the reality is that the future self is perpetually burdened by the present self's choices. The true cost of immediate satisfaction is frequently underestimated. Aggressive marketing and advertising campaigns skillfully shape consumer desires, representing another powerful mechanism. These sophisticated strategies relentlessly tap into our deepest aspirations and insecurities. They create a constant, insidious pressure to acquire more possessions. This relentless pursuit of status and belonging is a central tenet of modern consumer culture. It fuels a compelling desire to keep pace with perceived social norms and idealized lifestyles. We are constantly told what we need to be complete, happy, or successful. These campaigns don't just sell products, they sell narratives. They suggest that our worth, happiness, and social standing are intrinsically linked to what we own. This engineered discontent keeps the consumption engine perpetually running. The digital age, particularly social media, dramatically amplifies existing societal pressures. These platforms relentlessly showcase idealized lifestyles, often curated and unrealistic. This constant exposure frequently leads to feelings of inadequacy and comparison. A powerful desire to emulate what is seen online then takes hold. The line between genuine needs and perceived wants becomes increasingly blurred. What began as a mere desire often morphs into a perceived necessity. The immediacy and ubiquity of digital content normalize extravagant spending. Online shopping, driven by targeted advertisements, makes impulse purchases effortlessly accessible. Financial boundaries erode in the face of constant digital temptation. The demands of the modern workplace further contribute to the overspending phenomenon. Work environments often require long hours and intense productivity. This leaves precious little time for thoughtful financial planning or reflection on spending habits. Consequently, impulsive spending frequently emerges as a form of stress relief or a well-deserved reward. The focus insidiously shifts from long-term financial health to immediate gratification. This short-term perspective offers temporary respite from occupational pressures. The relentless pace of contemporary work life exhausts individuals, both mentally and physically. This exhaustion diminishes self-control, making people more susceptible to fleeting pleasures. Convenient spending, often at a premium, becomes a default choice. Persistent economic pressures represent another significant systemic factor. Inflation, a silent but powerful force, consistently erodes the purchasing power of hard-earned income. The cost of essential goods and services continues its upward trajectory. This reality forces individuals to dedicate a larger portion of their income simply to basic living expenses. The discretionary budget shrinks, yet societal expectations often do not. This creates a constant and often crushing financial strain. Despite earning more in nominal terms, many feel poorer than previous generations. The economic landscape makes it increasingly difficult to save or invest for the future. Basic survival consumes resources that might otherwise build wealth. The aspirational pursuit of the American dream also involves significant financial commitments. Milestones like homeownership, higher education, and starting a family are often deemed essential. However, these investments can place considerable strain on immediate finances. The societal pressure to achieve these traditional milestones is immense. This pressure can inadvertently lead to overspending, particularly for young adults. They feel compelled to acquire assets or experiences that may be beyond their current means. The promise of future rewards often overshadows the immediate financial burden. This deferred gratification becomes a common justification for taking on substantial debt. The dream itself can become a financial trap. The consequences of accumulated debt are far-reaching and deeply impactful. Debt accumulation inevitably leads to chronic stress and debilitating anxiety. The constant worry about payments infiltrates every aspect of life. It can also result in strained relationships, as financial stress often spills over into personal connections. Trust erodes, and conflicts escalate under the weight of monetary pressure. Debt becomes a wedge between individuals. Furthermore, debt severely limits future opportunities, restricting career choices, investment possibilities, and even housing options. It creates a debilitating cycle of financial dependence, trapping individuals in a continuous struggle. The long-term implications of excessive debt can be devastating, impacting mental health, physical well-being, and overall life satisfaction. It is a burden that diminishes potential and stifles freedom. Surface-level assumptions often erroneously blame individuals for their financial struggles. This simplistic viewpoint overlooks the vast array of systemic factors at play. It reduces complex societal problems to individual failings. Such assumptions ignore the intricate interplay of economic forces, pervasive societal pressures, and diverse individual circumstances. The reality of overspending is far more nuanced than mere individual irresponsibility. It is a reflection of the environment we inhabit. Attributing blame solely to personal choices obfuscates the need for broader structural solutions. It distracts from examining the mechanisms that perpetuate financial vulnerability. A deeper, more empathetic understanding is essential. Understanding the underlying mechanisms driving overspending is the indispensable first step towards financial empowerment. This journey requires a critical and honest examination of personal spending habits. It demands introspection and an objective assessment of one's financial reality. It also necessitates a conscious and deliberate effort to resist pervasive societal pressures. This means questioning consumerist narratives and defining personal values apart from market dictates. True financial freedom begins with independent thought. Crucially, it requires a steadfast commitment to long-term financial planning. This involves setting realistic goals, creating budgets, and consistently prioritizing future security over immediate gratification. The path to financial freedom is undeniably paved with awareness and discipline. Overspending is not a simple behavioral flaw, but a complex phenomenon fundamentally shaped by systemic forces. It is profoundly influenced by societal pressures and the very structure of the modern economy. Recognizing this truth is paramount. Challenging common, often judgmental assumptions about personal finance requires a deeper, more comprehensive understanding. We must look beyond individual choices to the systems that influence them. This critical perspective is vital. Only by understanding these intricate dynamics can individuals navigate the treacherous financial landscape with greater clarity and control. This empowers them to make informed decisions, build resilience, and resist manipulative forces. Ultimately, a collective commitment to understanding these forces is necessary. This approach aims to build a more secure and sustainable future, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole.